As we continue, we now have Kaleb Monroe. His company is called the Monroe Team. Kaleb, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Well, here we are. It's tremendous. Real estate is so much fun. Let's tell people you have a team and tell people about your team, the Monroe Team.
Yeah, so we're only about a year old. As a matter of fact, November made our year anniversary, and it's kind of grown a lot quicker than expected. It's about 12 people. 8 or 9 of us are in production. The rest are admin, support staff. And we've done pretty good this year. We're at about 95, 96 closing pending units, looking for a bunch of lofty goals into the new year.
Now, let's tell people, as far as your approach to real estate, you approach it geographically in the area that you're primarily in. Let's tell people there. I would assume you go all over Houston, but let's tell people how you approach your real estate profession.
Right. So as far as the area goes, we're primarily in the southeast side of Houston. Our office is in the Clear Lake area. A couple of our agents are scattered all across the city, though. We have somebody that lives in Baytown, so they service a lot of the east side of Houston. Somebody that lives, one of our top producers lives out in Spring Branch Memorial area, so he services a lot of that area, and then the inner loop. The way that we approach it, in all honesty, and something that I've kind of taught my team as I've kind of grown my production, is all through relationships. You know, a lot of my business comes directly from sphere of influence, great friends and family that just trust me based off the information and knowledge that I put out online. We do a lot of social media marketing and videos. Anybody that knows us know that we love doing videos. So the videos that we're able to do is, in addition to putting those out to our sphere of influence, our friends and family, anybody that's sending us referrals, and just trying to provide some value.
And people listening right now that you might have piqued their interest in, they said, hey, I might want to see one of these videos. Where do they see that?
So Instagram is probably the easiest way to see it. You can look at mine or my team's. My personal Instagram is Kaleb R. Monroe. That's Kaleb RMonroe. Or you can look at my team's Instagram page, which is the MonroeRealtyTeam.com, or at the Monroe Realty Team. Sorry, no .com in there. But those we post pretty much every single day, at least 2 to 3 times a day. Some informative, educational stuff, or just some fun stuff.
What about Facebook? Do you use that?
Yeah, on Facebook you can find me personally at Kaleb Richard Monroe, against KALEB RICHARD. I never spell my middle name. MONROE.
In fact, people, when you said the R, I thought, I wonder what his middle name is. Now you've answered that. So
yeah.
we don't have to wonder. So as far as the real estate world right now, here it is. You guys are doing pretty well. And you have here in the station, I'm counting 5 people with you that I think just part of the team. You have there are more. Give people an idea as far as what you have a marketing person. What else is going on here with the people that are assembled here today?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about them. They're unbelievable.
Here to my left, we have Juliana. She is our marketing admin and does a ton of work with a lot of the tenants that we work with, landlords that we work with, and buyers that we work with. So she does a little bit of everything, to say the least.
Now, are you doing property management too?
We are actually going into the new year with the hopes of starting a property management company.
She's smiling too. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That is a.
We've been talking about it a lot lately. Yeah. And then over next to her, we have Adrian, that's in the cowboy hat. Next to him, we have one of our top producers, Saul. And then next to him, we have Warren.
How about that? So, you know what they say, it takes teamwork to make the dream work.
Absolutely, yeah.
Without the right team, it can be a nightmare.
That's 100% right. I think I have the right folks around me.
You have the right team, no doubt.
We all push each other. We all love each other. And, you know, sometimes the highest form of love is accountability. So we got to push each other to get better.
So let's tell people, here we are, 2023. How did you approach 2023, and what kind of things are you thinking about and being ready for whatever may happen? In these last couple of years, we've seen things that it's like, that happened? You know, some really crazy things. So how are you preparing for this 2023?
Well, that's the thing. You know, I always tell people I was kind of born into a crazy market, and I really realized that, right? I mean, I got licensed January of 2020, so timed it perfectly without even trying to necessarily. And now
wait a minute, you got your license in 2020?
Yeah.
Okay.
So right at the start of the pandemic, and all I've known so far is a crazy market. So navigating these last few months has been interesting. But what I'm thinking going into the new year is that we just need to continue showing that it's a skill-based market. You know, we pride ourselves on all the video marketing and things along those lines that we do. Just try to provide value to everybody that we talk to on a daily basis with the conversations that we're having. So now we just know that we just need to have more of those conversations and kind of breaking things down to a science.
And in these last few years, it's only a few years, but to be as successful as you have been and are going to be, give people an idea. What was it that got you on this fast track? Where did you first realize that you were getting this kind of traction?
Honestly, so my first year, it took me 6 months to sell my very first house. And at the end of my first year, I ended up closing about 10
And then
houses.
after that, you said, that's it. I'm going to just keep selling.
I just got to keep going from here.
It took 6 months. Did you get discouraged?
A little bit, you know, and when I got into it, I was a 19-year-old kid. I hadn't owned a house myself just yet. So, I mean, it was really discouraging thinking who's going to buy a house from somebody that's never owned one before, especially in the
You were putting
craziest
all that
market.
negativity on yourself.
Oh, yeah. A lot of
I'm not a psychologist.
limiting
but
beliefs for sure. And, it all was self-imposed. And I see it every day now with some of my team members who are in their first year. And it's just funny. Like, I laugh looking back at it sometimes because I know that it gets greater later. All the stuff that they're talking about and going through now, it's only going to be for a little bit before they do start seeing traction in their production as well. For me, I mean, it just, as long as I kind of came from contribution and came from curiosity with people, that was what I did. I mean, reaching out to a bunch of folks, seeing how it was that I can help them and why it was that they wanted that sort of help.
Well, it's interesting that, yes, you put yourself, unbeknownst to you at the time, if you were discouraged, not selling a home, and then here it starts to explode, and as you bring new people on the team, and everybody gets discouraged in any job, certainly real estate, when everything's on the line.
Right.
So you're in a better position to counsel them through that and get them through it successfully, I'm guessing.
Most definitely, because we have a lot of one-on-ones with our team members. So every week somebody will get a sit down with either myself or Jen, who's our director of operations, and
is she here? Well,
she's not here
you
today.
should have brought her. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
We got room for like another 20.
The office would have burned down without her there.
Okay.
So, but in all honesty, I mean, seeing a lot of their struggles currently, and being reminded of them whenever I was in my first or second year, it kind of is a lot easier to give them perspective, and that's kind of part of the reason I started a team. I feel like I started it backwards. I think most people start teams because they have just this large overflow of leads that they can't necessarily handle. That wasn't the case. Jen was my first assistant. She started out with me, and she could tell you too. I mean, we had lots of leads, but not anything we couldn't handle. I started a team just because I wanted to help people and grow people and, kind of limit the limiting beliefs that they were telling themselves like I had myself.
So right now, as the market has changed, you're still doing business, helping buyers and sellers, but are you doing anything more to attract buyers? As far as from a marketing standpoint, or is it harder to find buyers now, and now you're having to do extra things versus when it was like crazy a couple months ago or a year ago?
What I've noticed is that a lot of people are just not really educated on what it takes to actually buy a home, because we get a lot of calls, like inbound calls from Google, for example, from people that are wanting to rent, and then we hear their budget for rent is anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a month, and we just simply ask, well, why is it that you're renting if that's your budget? And, of course, for some other people, it could just be, we don't have the credit just yet or don't have the savings, and those are totally understandable. But if we're talking to somebody who tells us that their budget is $3,500 a month and they could pay 6 months in advance for the rent, I'm starting to question, why wouldn't you want to put that down on a house? Exactly, right. So for us, it's just all about the education. As long as we're just providing the value to people and doing videos that way too, pushing them out to all the different platforms, that's how we're able to get some buyers now.
So, again, and take your last 10 buyers, how many of them were cash?
Only one.
So you had one, and how many came from another state?
2.
Which states? California.
One of them was California.
I had a feeling we were going to hear that word.
One of them was California. The other one was Delaware.
How about that? Delaware. Yeah. Just curious. Don't say the person's name, of course, but the people from Delaware, what was the attraction to Texas?
They just had a lot of family here. That was their only thing.
We hear that a lot.
Their job allowed them to start working from home a little bit more, and they just wanted to be a little bit more flexible and be closer to family.
Here we go. So let's tell people, as far as the rest of this year, we're at the very beginning. What are are you doing anything new? I think you were talking about property management, but what other ways are you going to expand or focus on what's going on already?
I think
you
that
seem like a focused guy. Like when you put your mind, I don't know you, but 15 minutes, but I think you have a focus.
What would y'all say?
See, his team agreed. If you didn't hear that, yeah.
So I think for us, I mean, we don't want to continue to put square pegs through a round hole. You know what I mean? We've done a lot of things this year that have really helped us and succeeded for us, like the video marketing, social media. I think for us, it's just doubling down on the activities that we've done that have given us the success this year. It's not anything necessarily different. We are looking to expand, like I said, into things like property management, give more sellers options and buyout options, as we work with so many investors in our area and our investors on the team ourselves. Just want to try to provide as many different avenues for people that are seeing that this market might give them some struggles.
And tell us again a little bit about this video, the video work that you're doing.
Sure.
People and where they can see it.
Yeah, so like I said, most of my videos are going to be on my Instagram or on my YouTube. You can just find me on YouTube by searching my name.
And are they videos of homes, or you're talking about the market, or what? All the above.
All the above, yeah. We started out doing it with just high-quality listing tours. I was starting to take a lot more listings myself during my solo agent career and realized that the photos weren't going to cut it when it came to truly maximizing the potential of this property. There was like a 5-acre house that I had taken, and there was 3 different structures on there that could have easily been renovated and turned into different homes or rental units or whatever you would want to turn them into. And I realized that the listing agent before me, it was an expired listing, didn't necessarily highlight all those features. So I wanted to do it with a video to actually go and talk about the horse stalls and everything that was there. So for us, I mean, it's high quality listing tours where I've been on a 4-wheeler on them, jumping into pools and suits. It's,
okay, so they're entertaining, eh?
Yeah,
I like that.
They're pretty entertaining. Most of them are also just sit down in front of a camera and kind of talk about what's going on in the market and kind of give different perspectives.
Now let's remind people again. Certainly, you're helping people all over the Houston area, but primarily you're based in the Clear Lake.
Correct. Our office is out of Clear Lake. I'm from Sagemont area, so southeast side of Houston.
So for those listening outside of Houston, that's pretty much south, maybe a little bit east of the center of the big city, Houston, Texas, the 4th largest city in the United States, they're saying. Caleb, before we close the segment, what else do you want people to know?
Just know that we're here to help. I mean, the main thing that we love to do, as I said a couple times, is provide some unsolicited value. I know that we pop up on a lot of people's screens on social media channels. We want to continue to do that, so I hope that you're not tired of seeing this mug just yet, because all I want to do is be able to entertain and educate as much as I can.
And if someone wants to reach out to you, what should they do?
Feel free to either call me or shoot me a text at 281-520-8040. You can also reach me pretty easy on Instagram. I always answer DMs, direct messages at Kaleb R. Monroe. That's KALEB RMONROE.
And the phone number again is?
281-520-8040.
Sounds like you said 281-520-8040. Kaleb Monroe, the Monroe team.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Caleb.
Appreciate you. Thanks so much.